you should have words that are different but mean the same thing. So medium and mid segment is actually the exact same thing. Remember how before you guys learned something that was called average, and then you guys learned something that was mean, and figure out it was the same thing? So that's the same thing here. As a matter of fact, median or mid segment is the average of the basis. And as you guys notice, the average is basically the number in the middle. Like if you guys think 3 and 5, the average is 4, right? It's the number right in the middle. So we're looking at 23 and 35. That mid segment would be the number right in the middle. So the way we do this, let me call the question mark, let me call it X just to give it a name. So just like on Friday, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go X is equal to 23 plus 35 divided by 2. Remember, I'm doing the average of the mid segment. Remember, average, you add and then divide by how many? So that's why I divide by 2. My fraction is all numerical, so I can work it out. Right, 23 plus 35, we can simplify that to 58. Right, you can simplify the top of a fraction. And then the fraction 58 over 2, what's 58 divided by 2? 29, yes. So X equals 29. Right, if the fraction, it's all numerical, we can work it out. And if we think of the numbers 23 and 35, the number right in between them is 29. Once again, the median or mid-segment, however you guys want to call it, it's the average of the bases. Always divide by 2, yes. So I give you guys some questions that are just the median, like the first 6. Now question number 7, the question mark is on the base. So let me call it X for right now. So I'm just going to come and say 11.1 is equal to 17.2 plus X over 2. On the fraction, what I add on the top of the fraction, it's always the median. I mean the bases. Whether the bases are numbers or whether the bases have X. Like I said, what I want to push in here is the number by itself, in this case this number right here, is not always X. Right? The X sometimes comes in the fraction. Remember, in the fraction, what I add on the top are the 2 bases. Right? Obviously, the fraction we cannot simplify. Right? 17.2 plus X divided by 2 we cannot simplify. So on Friday, I told you guys if we have a fraction that cannot be simplified, multiply both sides by 2. And the reason why, because we're going to get rid of fractions. Right? Multiply both sides by 2. So I'm going to have 22.2 is equal to 17.2 plus X. Right? I will get rid of fractions by multiplying both sides by 2. My 17.2, let me bring it to the left as a negative 17.2. So what's the value of X? 5. So that takes us up until number 12. Any questions up until 12? Right, so now, let me take a look at number 13. I'm going to just have it a little more complicated. It's not just the X by itself. It's the X with some numbers in there. So the way we're going to solve for X, I'm going to have negative 2X plus 38, which is what I know for the median. Negative 2X plus 38 is equal to 13 plus 23 over 2. In the fraction, I add the 2 bases. My fraction is all numerical, so we can simplify it. How much is 13 plus 23? 36. And then how much is 36 divided by 2? 18. So we're going to write negative 2x plus 38 is equal to 18. Right? We work the fraction. It's all numerical, so we can simplify to just a number. Then I'm going to move the 38 to the right as a negative 38. So I get the negative 2x equals, how much is 18 minus 38? Negative 20. So if negative 2x equals negative 20, what's x? X equals 10. So that takes us up until 24, where we have solve for x. So the first 24, we're basically just solve for x. Any questions so far? Now looking at 25, it says find the length of the median of each trapezoid. If you guys notice, the median is 2x minus 13. So we want to know how much is 2 times x minus 13. All right, solve for x and then plug it in. And then the way we're going to solve for this one, I'm just going to go 2x minus 13 is equal to x minus 3 plus x minus 1 over 2. Remember, on the top of my fraction, I'm adding the two bases. X minus 3 plus x minus 1. The top, the only thing that I can do on the top is at least simplify a little. Let me call that 2x minus 4. Right, I just combine my like terms. So that's why I call it 2x minus 4. That's as simple as I can do the top. So now let me get rid of fractions. I'm going to multiply both of my sides by 2. Because I know on the right I'm going to get rid of fractions. So I'm going to have 4x minus 26 is equal to 2x minus 4. Do you notice that on the left I multiply the 2 to both? I multiply the 2 to everything. That's a big mistake that a lot of people do. They only multiply to the x. Multiply to everything. Alright, now my 2x, let me bring it to the left as a negative 2x. My 26, let me move it to the right as a positive 26. On the left, how much is 4x minus 2x? 2x. On the right, how much is negative 4 plus 26? 22. So if 2x equals 22, what's x? 11. Remember on this one, the question was not solve for x. The question is find that value. 2x minus 13. How much? What is it? 9. So my answer should be 9. I plug it in there. 2 times x minus 13 gives you 9. The x can be negative. Right? It's okay, we have for the value of x, negative value. For the distance, if you have a negative value, there's something wrong. Right? Once again, x can be negative, but once you plug it in, it should always be positive. If you get a negative, double check your work. Any questions up until 30? Looking at 31, I'm going to have 3x plus 14 is equal to 8x minus 6 plus 24. All over 2. Once again, in my fraction, what I'm adding on the top are the two bases. The only thing that I can do on the top is 8x plus 18. And I'm just going to combine my like terms. Negative 6, positive 24 is positive 18. Now let me multiply both of my sides by 2. I'm going to get rid of fractions at the right. What do I have at the left? 6x plus 28, good, is equal to 8x plus 18. Just checking if you guys were going to multiply it to both. Alright, my positive 8x, let me bring it to the left as a negative 8x. My positive 28, let me cross it to the other side as a negative 28. What's 6x minus 8x? Negative 2x. How much is 18 minus 28? Negative 10. So what's the value of x? Positive 5. Now reading the instructions says find the length of the base indicated. I'm asked to solve for EH. So you said what was it? 34. So I can plug it in there. 8 times x minus 6 is 34. Right, any questions?